Here we go. Wait it. Tyreek. Speed. Kill. C-M-C. There you go, baby.
Listen to the MVP chant for Lamar.
Myles Garrett is taking over this game. Picked off by Bland. He's done it again.
Welcome to the NFL playoffs.
-20 wind chill.
The Lions win a playoff game.
They're going to have a championship game in Baltimore. What a difference a half makes.
That is the most unbelievable comeback.
You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs.
Welcome to Super Bowl 58.
And the 49ers have a lead.
And we are headed to overtime.
This is a heavyweight battle.
Hey, let's go be great, baby.
It's called the Chiefs have won. It is a dynasty.
Welcome to the 2024 NFL Kickoff Preview. It is presented by Lowe's. We know football. Lowe's knows home improvement. David Carr, Mike Yann with you. We're ready to go. The NFL season, it kicks off Thursday as the back-to-back Super Bowl champs host Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Over the next hour, we're picking games, giving our Super Bowl predictions. Plus, he's got a little bit of a personality. 49ers tight end George Kittle is going to be hanging out with us. But we got to start with a rematch of the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs trying to become the first team to three-peat as Super Bowl champs. Ravens looking for some revenge. Here's a look at some of those numbers. Mahomes 4-1 against Lamar. Look at those touchdowns to interceptions. 13-2 for Mahomes, 5-3 for Lamar Jackson. If that doesn't tell you exactly what you need to know, this thing has been lopsided. I don't know what else will. Last year, the Chiefs, David, they hung a banner on opening night, and then they lost to the Lions. So you tell me, how does KC avoid losing opening night again against this squad?
Well, that's a great football team. Baltimore Ravens are going to be a true test, maybe even more so than the Lions were for them last year. I think the biggest thing is Derrick Henry. That's exactly what Baltimore pinpointed as their necessity coming out of free agency and going into free agency, I should say, is getting that run game going. Even though it was dynamic, adding a physical presence like this will force them to throw the football a little bit. So for the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to load the box like everyone has done through the history of playing against Derrick Henry. You must stop this freight train that's going downhill. And that leads me to my next point. It's Lamar Jackson. You got to make Lamar Jackson win from the pocket. I know it's crazy to say, being the MVP, but the ability that Spags has to give you multiple looks frustrates the most veteran pocket quarterbacks. Lamar has tended to lean more on his legs, RPOs. He can throw from the pocket. Yes, he's very capable, but man, Spags can mix it up and make you look very average, especially for an MVP. And then on the offensive side, it's all about speed. Bring the speed back to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what we want to see, the down-the-field vertical element. They say Travis Kelce disappeared. No, it's because there was no stretch of the field. The middle of the field was tight. It was contested. There was a lot going on there. Bring these speed burners back out. Xavier Worthy, get Hollywood Brown mixed in there. Travis Kelce will then thrive in the middle of the field like he's always done. That's how you avoid getting upset.
Yeah, that Xavier Worthy kid, certainly a difference maker potentially in that offense, but we know Lamar, what he brings to the table.
Yes.
Maybe the biggest challenge for the Chiefs is going to be slowing down the two-time MVP.
There's been a lot of he say, she say.
Backlash in Baltimore.
Nail biting.
Requested a trade.
Head scratching going on.
A brand new contract extension.
There's a lot of flock going on. Let's go. Let's go.
Stepped up, fires, touchdown, Ravens!
That's the X factor.
This house is on fire!
You gotta be a grown man if you gon' handle business.
Still on his feet.
Handle business.
What a play!
Handle business.
That is vintage Lamar Jackson.
I know who the MVP is. Lamar Jackson. I really want to finish my career here and win the Super Bowl here. They gonna get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that.
Guy is so talented. A first-time Lamar Jackson and the Ravens entered the playoffs as the top seed in the AFC back in 2019. Ravens, they fell 28-12 at home to the Titans in that divisional round despite 508 total yards from Jackson. The turnovers, though, an issue. Turned over the ball 3 times. Then last season, top-seeded Ravens, they lost to the Chiefs 17-10 in that AFC Championship game. Baltimore managed just 81 rushing yards on 16 attempts, including only 2 design runs from the MVP, Lamar Jackson. So you tell me, man, what's it going to take for Lamar and this team to get over the hump?
You nailed it in those numbers. We saw just those defeats that they've had. They had 59 pass attempts, 37 pass. I mean, too many pass attempts. 10 points is not enough. 2 design runs. Not enough. Todd Monken, this offensive staff, they got to help. They went out and they got Derrick Henry. That tells you what they thought they had failed at last year, and I really think that has to continue. You can throw the football when you get the one-on-ones that you want, and you create that by running the football effectively with number 8. You got to utilize his legs. It's the most dynamic weapon in the history of the league is Lamar Jackson playing in this type of offense. You have to utilize that, especially in the red zone. It's going to be so valuable to use his ability to run the football, to create what you want in space, much like Jalen Hurts did with Philly. When they were on their run, right, Lamar Jackson has to do the same things, then win on the outside when it's easy one-on-ones.
Yeah, I got that graphic, 58-19 in the regular season. This guy hits the field, all he does is win. The postseason, and maybe it is just run the football a little bit more.
Team game, man. Yep.
And you get Derrick Henry, and that certainly should help their cause. Meanwhile, it's time for predicting futures presented by FanDuel. As we made reference to Lamar, MVP last year. We'll get to that category in just a second. But the Offensive Player of the Year, who you got your eye on?
Tyreek Hill stays healthy, it's Tyreek Hill. I mean, people don't understand Mike McDaniel's offense and what he's done, taking Kyle Shanahan's approach to running the football and then utilizing that passing game. I mean, he's watching single wing cut-ups of the early 1900s and then putting Tyreek Hill in those positions. The guy's advanced as far as a play caller, but you have the speed to burn. Literally, Tyreek Hill is going to be the Offensive Player of the Year. If he stays healthy, the guy's going to go for 2,000 yards.
There's one guy, and I've worked with you now for a couple years, and I know you are such a huge fan of the player that you have for Defensive Player of the Year because the motor never shuts off.
It never shuts off, and then I look at Max Crosby, and he's my Defensive Player of the Year, strictly because of his motor, and then also because Patrick Graham, defensively for the Raiders, they have played excellent football, especially towards the last half of last season, and I don't think it's going to change. I think Antonio Pierce is going to unlock something on that defense. They let him play with some freedom, but Max is an absolute machine when you watch him play. He has all the physical ability, but then his relentless motor just makes him that much more difficult. And Patrick Graham, again, defense coordinator for the Raiders, he's going to put them in excellent positions. He creates one-on-ones for Max. He does a good job of avoiding him getting doubled, and he just lets that guy play free. Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, MVP. I remember one game and one moment in particular. It was a Sunday. You texted me, and it looked like Tampa Bay was about to knock out Houston late. And then C.J. Stroud orchestrates under 2 minutes a game-winning drive, and you said at some point he's going to be an MVP. Is this season? Yeah, it's because of things like that, yeah. So, like, when you look at the film and you watch him play, I remember watching young Joe Burrow come out, and he played. His processing was off the charts. You know, Bobby Slowick comes over from the 49ers. You think they're going to run the ball, right? That's what they're going to do. They just threw it around, and they continue to throw it around because C.J. Stroud is so talented. The intermediate level throws is what I always look at. That's how you equate greatness in this league. He is great, and he was great from snap one in the NFL. He's going to take this offensive system that is, you know, historically a run-based system, take those 3 wide receivers, take Joe Mixon. They're going to spread the football out, and they're going to put so much pressure on opposing defenses. With this kid's processing ability, their offensive line's great. I mean, they have everything going for them for this kid to be an MVP. I mean, that would be so much fun for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that impact. Can't wait to see it that Diggs is going to have on this offense.
It'd be great.
You know, a couple years ago, if you would have told that front office, hey, you're going to get a C.J. Stroud, maybe you think you get to the postseason, maybe you get to a Super Bowl a few years from now. They're knocking on the door right now, which is why you're seeing some of the moves that they've made in this offseason. New FanDuel customers, they can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. With FanDuel, all customers get a free 3-week trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV when they place any $5 bets. All right, still to come is the future of football in Chicago, and if the preseason's any indication, things might be more than okay for the Bears. A rookie quarterback watch led by Caleb Williams, that's on deck. And George Kittle entertains us during the season, did the same in the offseason with that show Receiver. One of our favorites joins us next on the 2024 NFL Kickoff of the Year.
I see you, Mr. Kittle. The vibe here is red hot.
What a catch by George Kittle. Bobbled it a couple of times, but was able to reel it in. By George Kittle!
Look at him. He just did that to our Sky Kid.
Purdy going to throw for the end zone. Wide open, George Kittle.
I score Ray Ray's touchdown.
You gonna go have fun now?
Yep.
He knows how to have a good time. Niners tight end George Kittle is with us on behalf of Little Caesars. We've seen you rock out on the commercials, having some fun. So, George, tell me, what are you cooking up with Little Caesars right now?
I'm cooking up 2 really big things with Little Caesars. The first off is starting on September 2nd. So basically the first 2 weeks of September, you get no delivery fees, no fees. Like it's all good.
Wow.
So just go on there, get it through the app online. You're going to really enjoy yourself. Then also on game days, if you order through the app, you get to win all these like fun prizes, like free crazy bet, free crazy bread, all the good stuff that you guys really want to do. So that's what you need to do. Get on the app, order stuff, free delivery. Gosh, and there's no catch. Like, that's the thing. There's always like strings attached. And for this, there's absolutely no strings attached, no catch. And it's a fun thing too. All the commercials, you have me and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I think we do a pretty good job of representing and showing how there is no catch and no strings attached.
Well, you had me at free delivery, bro, because usually I just send my kids to go get the pizza, but now they're going to be like, Dad, it's free to deliver. Kittle said it on your show, I heard. So we're good there. So, okay, so you always learn sometimes more about who you are as a team in the losses. So coming off the Super Bowl, I know there's always this, okay, it's the next season, but I'm sure you guys have pinpointed some things. What have you focused on most in the offseason to get over the hump now that you know what it takes? And let's be honest, you guys are Super Bowl contenders again.
Yeah, I would say just like lessons learned is one, I think the most important thing is stay healthy. You know, when you play a long season, you're in multiple NFC Championship games and Super Bowls back to back to back. Those seasons are really long, and learning how to get back to 100% is a thing you have to learn how to do, especially when you are a vet. And so I think the team did a good job of that. Guys came back for training camp, ready to roll. You know, we had some guys have surgeries and stuff, and we're looking, I mean, I like the way that we look. And besides that, you know, things that you learn is just, you know, you're always just trying to execute at any moment. So Coach Shanahan does a good job about putting us in like stressful situations on a practice field. You know, all the, hey, gotta have it, it's 3rd and 5. You don't convert, you have to go on 4th down. And the fact that we get to go against a defense, like the defense we go against every day with Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Travarius Ward, Demo, like we have a really good defense over there. So having to execute versus a team like that makes us better every single day.
Yeah, George, David just made reference to it. You guys are Super Bowl contenders because not only you and that defense, but you have a quarterback that you can rely on. Heading into his 3rd season, take me inside that locker room. You know, I'm loving this guy, dude up here. Well, how has he matured as a leader inside that locker room?
I think Brock is one of those guys that falls under the category of, you could say, like, I can tell you like all the, like the professional things I would say, like what PR hands me the sheet, they says, hey, he's consistent. He shows up every single day. He's a great kid. He's got high character. He's a leader. People love him. And like, I could say all those things, and they're all very true for Brock. But the things that he does also, like he commands a huddle. He gets everybody's attention. When he speaks, everybody's looking at him. Everybody's listening to him. And it's fun too, because he actually had a full offseason of healthy, because last offseason he was rehabbing the entire time. He actually had to take some time for himself. He got married. You know, he has his wife now. Like he's just ready to go. And what I really appreciate Brock too is like his intensity and his competitiveness. You see it all day, every day. And when he gets on that football field, there's just a switch that flips, and he's a lot different than like the Brock that gets interviewed in front of his locker up on the podium. And like, it's just really fun to play for a guy that has that switch of competitiveness.
Love that you started talking about quarterbacks, so let's use this time. You're hosting Week 1, a pretty good quarterback, right, with the Jets. I know the defense poses certain, right, questions and things you have to answer, but do you think about who's playing quarterback for the other team also when you're playing a game like this?
All I know is that if you're playing Aaron Rodgers, you got to score a lot of football. Score a lot of football points, a lot of points. That's what you got to do. You got to score a lot of points. And you could have one of the best defenses ever, and he's still going to find a way to score, especially they have weapons. You know, he's, I know he didn't play last year, but he did have 2 full off seasons with him. So he knows the guys in the room. People know him. They know like what he's thinking and stuff. So they're going to be ready to roll. They're going to be fired up. And then and then when you throw Aaron Rodgers out there with, you know, very talented offense, but then you pair him with a defense like the New York Jets and what they have on the edges, their style of defense, Coach Saleh, like they know exactly what they're going to get when they come to Levi Stadium. And it's going to be a really fun football game just because of their intensity. And I know they're upset because they didn't achieve their expectations last year because of that injury to Aaron. And they're going to be fired up and ready to go. And we're very aware of that. So we're also fired up, though, which is kind of fun. That's why it's going to be a fun football game.
Look, I think we're all cannot wait to see this thing out on the football field. George, I'm going to put you in a tough spot and make you uncomfortable by trying to have some fun with you, which I know you're always down for, right? You're a big WWE guy. So you tell me, man, which 49er is the biggest baby face?
I think that's the easiest answer. That's Brock Purdy.
I love that.
Fan favorite.
I love that.
Yeah, fan favorite. He walks onto the field. You know, he could just put one hand up and the entire stadium goes.
We can talk about
like that. Yeah.
We can talk about my managerial status for you later in WWE. But who would you choose as a tag team partner if you had to pick a teammate?
I think just based on longevity and how I've known him for so long, Kyle Juszczyk. And the nice thing about Juice is too is he can do it all. right?
Yeah.
He can put him anywhere. He can be in any situation, and he can figure out a way to do it. He's also a Harvard guy, so he's pretty smart. Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah.
But, like, he'll figure out a way to win in the ring.
Yeah, the Harvard guys seem to tell you that they went to Harvard. Which 49er would win a team battle royal? What do you got on that one?
I would.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I know. Besides me, though, I think it would come down to Bosa versus Trent Williams.
Okay. So who would you hand the mic to? Who has the best, like, in-ring promos?
I got two for you.
Okay.
And one is Christian McCaffrey, because
Really?
if you get a mic on him, and Christian does a good job, he always gives you like the professional answer, like what the PR team wants him to say. But when you let him cut loose a little bit, he can ramble, but he can like connect all the dots. He can do a really, really good job with that. It's fantastic. And then my other one would be Charvarius Ward, Mooney. Just hearing him on the podium, like he is the most unexpected interview answers I've ever heard, but they're all like very witty.
Good.
And he knows exactly what he's talking about, but he's incredibly entertaining on the mic because you really don't know what he's going to say. But then when you think about it, like, oh, wow, that actually makes total sense. I wouldn't have thought of it like that, but I really appreciate your honesty.
Two great answers.
Thoughtful answers from George.
And I want to see that side of CMC a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I know.
We're going to be talking about smart guys. He's also a Stanford. Yeah. Just throwing that one out there. George, cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Stay healthy. Once again, George Kittle, brought to us by Little Caesars. Appreciate you giving us some time here ahead of week number 1.
Pizza.
Yes. Man, George has got me a little hungry, I'm not going to lie. Meanwhile, those Jets, and yeah, they match up against the Niners. Week 1, Monday Night Football. Rodgers, well, he came to New York with crazy amounts of fanfare, sky-high expectations. 4th snap, Week 1, end of the year. Rodgers back, fresh off the torn Achilles, ready to end the league's longest playoff drought, 13 seasons. So, David, you tell me, man, is it the old Aaron Rodgers that we're going to see, or just an old Aaron Rodgers?
You're going to get a mixed bag. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, that's the funny part about where he finds himself. And he's got a little gray in his beard. I think he's in new age football, right? Where quarterbacks got to be mobile, got to be able to move out of the pocket, got to make plays. The level of precision that they're going to have to play with, it requires a veteran quarterback, maybe an MVP. Oh, wait, they have that. So you see what I'm saying? Like, they can play precise football. It's just going to have to be so perfect, Yam, right? We saw him even last year in the couple snaps we saw, wasn't really able to move around even before the Achilles. I mean, is he going to be better now against the 49ers front like you were mentioning earlier? I mean, that's going to be very difficult. So if he can play very precise, a la like Peyton Manning in Denver towards the end of his career, then they can have the same type of year, but it's going to be close.
You're right, white whiskers. You got a little bit, too.
I got a little bit, too. It's okay. It's a crown of wisdom.
See, I know. It's the reason why I shave. I don't want to show any of mine. Rodgers not the only quarterback under the spotlight in 2024. It is big upgrade season. You could choose more with a 98-inch big screen TV from TCL, the official TV partner of the NFL. Still to come on the 2024 NFL Kickoff Preview presented by Lowe's. Good news for Dak is wide receiver got paid. David was high on what he saw last season from the Dallas QB. Find out why he's shining a light on Big D. It's time for Home Team Help, quarterbacks to watch presented by Lowe's. Here we go.
I love quarterbacks. You can never unhear that.
No, you can't. So why is Dak catching your eye?
Dak catches my eye just because he's an incredible talent. I think that when you look at Dak's skill set, he probably outplays most of his team and coaching staff. And that's really where my beef is when I watch the Cowboys is, yeah, you got CeeDee Lamb back, but the offense just doesn't wow me. It doesn't create offense for him. He has to create everything. But Dak Prescott is an incredibly talented player. Is he going to be the quarterback of the Cowboys long term? I don't know. Is he going to be the quarterback, probably the highest paid in the history of the league? Even on another team, that's probably more likely. But either way, number 4 in Dallas can play big-time quarterback. It's going to be fun to watch him navigate this whole situation in his last year of his contract. He seems to be playing pretty free. I saw him in training camp. Seemed very happy, very loose, in control of his offensive system. So we'll see where it goes, but I know he's a talented player.
Yeah, and CeeDee Lamb is taken care of. So he knows he's got that big-time target. In fact, last year, I remember you telling me you felt like Dak deserved to be in that MVP conversation the way he orchestrated that offense. Josh Allen, this offense looks dramatically different than it did a season ago in terms of personnel. What do we need to know about him?
But man, that's a good thing because as our Cobalt toolkit test is sitting here, he has every tool in his proverbial toolbox. And this guy is incredibly talented, can run, can make all the plays, right? But what we saw last year, which was what I loved, is their offensive coordinator actually said, you know what? You don't have to do it all. We can utilize the backs out of the backfield. We can create some offense for you. And I feel like that's going to free Josh up. And when free Josh is playing, man, watch out, because he has all the tools. He has the ability to push the ball vertically down the field. But with the offense being created for him at 15 or 20%, it's such a relief as a quarterback. I think he's going to play a lot freer, and you might finally get that MVP version of Josh Allen.
Well, I think fans of Buffalo would love that. And I think on the flip side, this AFC is loaded with talented quarterbacks.
It is.
And when Joe Burrow is healthy, the dude is an absolute surgeon out there. Key ingredient here is the health coming off that wrist injury.
Yeah, we've already even referenced him in this show because he's so talented. And when you watch him from the moment he stepped on the field, his processing is off the charts. He personally changed Zach Taylor's offense. It was going to be a West Coast run the ball first, the Joe Mixon type of offense. No, they spread it sideline to sideline. He's actually more comfortable in the empty formations. And it doesn't matter if you come out and you drop 8 and you play Tampa 2 and you cover everybody down. He's going to find a place to go. He's going to get the ball to these guys on the perimeter. He's an incredible talent. From the pocket, I would say he's probably the best quarterback in the league at just deciphering what the coverage he's getting, being able to layer different throws, finding his open receivers. Joe Burrow is incredibly talented, even with that blonde hair.
The blonde hair is actually okay.
It's fine.
I'm vibing with it. This is also a team, let's keep in mind, AFC Championship game back-to-back years before Burrow got hurt a season ago. This team in this division is going to be certainly a huge threat, although navigating the North is not going to be fun. But those are a couple of the OG quarterbacks in the league. There's some rookie signal callers ready to make their mark.
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams.
Caleb throws on the run. Touchdown! He is the best quarterback in the country.
The Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels.
And there he goes again. Jaden Daniels, he's got another touchdown.
The New England Patriots select Drake May.
May taking a shot to the end zone.
The Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
The left side, Penix. Touchdown, Michael Penix.
J.J. McCarthy.
McCarthy gonna throw on the run. Touchdown.
Bo Nix.
6 quarterbacks in the first dozen picks.
Bo Nix, give me 6.
Michael Vick, John Elway, Jim Plunkett. David, when you're on a list with those guys, you're doing something right.
All right.
That's not bad, right?
Yeah, what a first career start.
No, exactly. #1 overall picks to get it done. It's crazy to me. Quarterbacks 0-14-1 since you picked up that win in 2002. It has been a hot minute here. All right, so what do I need to know? I don't want to make you feel old, but you have the wisdom.
That's fine. I'll be there.
What do you wish you knew as a rookie quarterback that you figured out as the season progressed?
So I'll start with protect yourself at all times. And that has many different layers. As you can probably guess, sacks are one of them, but it goes deeper than that. I'll tell you what Troy Aikman told me. I had dinner with him, fortunately for me, before my rookie season. He said, you have to be ready when your team is ready. Now, unfortunately for me, my team was never ready. It's 2024. We're finally talking about the Texans maybe being good. Dallas was. Troy Aikman won 3 Super Bowls, and he was prepared and ready to go. And so what does that entail? What does that ask of the quarterback? Look, I'm going to say this with all humility. The quarterback is the king of the locker room. If he's not happy, no one will be happy. Therefore, your offense will not move down the field. So, Jaden Daniels, as I'm watching you, if you don't have an answer, ask Cliff, right? If you don't think that the protections are sufficient enough to handle what you have coming at you, say something, right? Same thing with Caleb. Make sure that you go out of your way to make sure you're comfortable with what you're running. Because at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable running these plays, it doesn't matter if it's your coach's favorite play or your wide receiver's favorite play. I can win on this one. It doesn't matter. If you're not happy, no one will be happy, and that's how you get your team to go forward and be successful.
Yeah, I've heard you say this as well as some of our other colleagues who played in the league. That environment and that situation could dictate the type of success that some of these rookies have in year #1. But the guy who studied all the college throws has us covered. Here's Daniel Jeremiah.
Well, I cannot wait to watch this rookie class take the field week 1 and really for this entire season because we've got playmakers galore starting at the quarterback position with those first 2 selected. Caleb Williams, he's going to change this Bears offense. Not only the dynamic plays he can create off schedule, but just with the arm strength and the accuracy to be able to access all 3 levels of the field. Can't wait to watch him. Jaden Daniels, you're going to be able to see his athleticism when he gets out in the open field, but then it's his quick mind, how quickly he can get through his progressions, get the balls to their playmakers in Washington, led by Terry McLaurin. I think this could be a comeback year for the Washington Commanders. So those are a couple quarterbacks I'm fired up for early in the season. A couple weapons. Let's go to Brock Bowers with the Raiders, who I know Devontae Adams is there, but to me, I think as the season goes along, you're going to see this offense get funneled through Brock Bowers. He's a chess piece that you can use in so many different areas. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands after the catch. he's going to be a fun player to watch there for the Raiders. One final skill position player I cannot wait to watch. When you look at the Chiefs the last few years, yes, they've still won Super Bowls. Yes, they find a way to get it done. But they're almost boring. They're not going to be boring offensively with Xavier Worthy. The big play is coming back to the Chiefs offense. Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to get vertical once again, and it's going to make the Chiefs one of the best watches in the NFL.
All right, DJ, we got more to come. Two of the most dangerous players in the NFL on new teams with Super Bowl aspirations. Find out why Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley could be the missing pieces for their teams. That's next on the 2024 NFL Kickoff Preview presented by LVIII. For Thursday night, it's time for Next Gen Stats powered by AWS, the official cloud partner of the NFL. And according to Next Gen Stats, Derrick Henry 3,267 rushing yards against stacked boxes in his career, most in the NFL, and over 1,500 more rushing yards than any other player since 2016. There's a reason why we call him the king. So tell me the impact that he's going to have on this Ravens offense.
Well, the fact that he's that productive against stacked boxes is crazy. I think the other thing, too, is it's 8+ defenders. There's some offensive sets for the Ravens who I think will help him as much as he's going to help them, where there won't be 5 guys within 10 yards line of scrimmage. So that's going to be really fun to watch as they spread this ball sideline to sideline. It's an offense unlike anything he's ever been in. He's usually been right behind the quarterback, kind of in an I formation, traditional downhill runner. But being next to Lamar, being in the pistol, being right behind him, and utilizing the threat with the quarterback as well, which he had a little bit with Ryan Tannehill and some of the quarterbacks in Tennessee. Had some success there with that system when Arthur Smith was there. But, man, this is going to be a whole nother animal with Lamar's ability to spread the football field sideline to sideline with some of these receivers. So I am extremely excited. As far as just guys changing teams and going into different systems, this is as excited as I've been for one single player in a long time.
Yeah, the fans of Baltimore was there for training camp. They are jacked up to see Derrick Henry in this backfield. But he's not the only running back that's got a new squad. Jalen Hurts actually now has got Saquon Barkley to go along with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, plus now Jahan Dotson. So you tell me, is it possible for Saquon to put up bigger numbers in an Eagles offense that he did with New York?
It's absolutely possible, but it rides on the offensive staff. This is the one concern that I have for Philly. When you look at their roster, loaded. That's why everyone gets so upset about how they finished last year. They shouldn't have been in that situation. They shouldn't be in the situation this year where they struggle at all with the players that they have. But you have to utilize the quarterback in the run game along with Saquon to create those one-on-ones on the outside and force teams to play you that way. For so long, Saquon has also rushed against stacked boxes. That's something that he's had to deal with his whole career. It shouldn't be the case in Philly. They have too many weapons on the outside, but it's on Kellen Moore, honestly, and it's on Nick Sirianni to get this thing right. All the pressure's on the coaching staff in Philly.
Yeah, if he's able to stay healthy, fans in New York know all about this. Fans in Philadelphia know how dangerous Saquon can be. But Next Gen Stats, they are powered by AWS, the official cloud partner of the NFL. And if AWS can do that for the NFL, imagine what it can do for your business. You can learn more at aws.com/NFL. Meanwhile, the lines to get those passports renewed, it might have been a little bit longer than normal in Philly and Green Bay. I think we're all jacked up for Friday. First ever game in Brazil. It's the Packers and Eagles. It's one of 5 international games. You can watch the pregame festivities on NFL Network starting at 7 Eastern. For a closer look, our Good Morning Football crew has us covered.
Yammer, thank you. Appreciate you as always. It is the Friday night, a rare Friday night tasty treat of week 1, kickoff week, Packers Eagles in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It is the NFL's first venture to Brazil. Everyone is thrilled about this. Peter, when you inspect these two teams and you inspect the way the league is going internationally, what is spicy to you about this game?
Well, Brazil is spicy to me. I love that we're going to Brazil for the first time. Sao Paulo, hello. Hey. I would also say that the Green Bay Packers are very spicy. Last year, they took everyone by surprise, and in the second half of the season, there might have been no better team in football. They were the hunters. Now, they're the hunted. They are not surprising anybody. I've seen Green Bay picked as a Super Bowl contender everywhere on this network, and I have seen some say Green Bay is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I look at this squad. Aaron Jones was a nice running back for them for a lot of years. He was an all-time running back for the Green Bay Packers. They said it's not good enough. They went and got younger and got a former rushing champion in Josh Jacobs. Can this Packers offense get even better? Week 1, they play an Eagles team that everyone's got questions about. What about the Packers? Are they ready for that prime time, that big jump? How much better can you do than a divisional round appearance? We'll see. It starts on Friday night against the Eagles.
Yeah, this is good. This has the making for for football being that international game. You know, you've heard the old saying, love hurts. Well, yes, it does hurt. It's a good thing, and we get to see love. We get to see Hurts in this matchup. You know, these are two young quarterbacks that everyone's so excited. These guys are going to be our international ambassador for this game. But the one that really sticks out to me is Jalen Hurts and all the weapons that he has. This is going to be an exciting game from A.J. Brown to Smith. And then we get to see, oh, yeah, Saquon Barkley. Oh, this is going to be so, so good.
Love Hurts, and we need Nazareth to play halftime. That's a deep cut for everybody. But I have also a deep theory that the reason the Eagles got this game, the international game, was that they were so bad last year. Like, just get out of the country for a while. Just take a gap week and rediscover yourself. Find out who you are. I would just like to say to the Philadelphia Eagles, you're not now just representing yourself. You're representing the United States of America. You're representing our game. You are actually an eagle, which is the symbol of the United States of America. Please go to this other country and resemble the team that we used to love, the one in the first half of last year, the tush push, the one that had gone to the Super Bowl. Block, tackle, pass, catch, do all those things that you're capable of doing. Because otherwise, like, if you look anything like you looked down the stretch last year, you can just stay. You can just stay. It's over. I want something from the past, from the Philadelphia. This is a big year for America, 2024. We got a lot going on. We got a lot of eyeballs, as they would say. Please represent us and play the football we know you're capable of playing. I don't want to say anything from last year. The real Eagles, please. How do you say please in Portuguese? I don't know. I'll look it up. But that's what I'm saying to you.
Obrigado and ciao. That's it. That's all I got.
It rattles off too.
Great.
Kyle, it might be reverse psychology, because if you're telling if a team doesn't look good, they get to stay in Brazil. They might do it on purpose all season long. I'm just saying, teams are just going to go and play them there. This is Good Morning Football. You see us right here, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern on NFL Network. Gentlemen, back to you.
I did not book my flight, but now I'm thinking about it. 2024 NFL Kickoff Preview presented by Lowe's rolls on. And coming up next, we're getting spicy. Our season-long bold predictions. That's next. By Smirnoff, I think about the loudest crowds in the NFL. You played, you know what it's like. Is there one that still haunts you?
Yes, every night. Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, stand up, because you guys are ridiculous as far as home field advantage. I mean, that is absolutely a thing. I can remember getting the play call in from the sideline from the coach to quarterback system, and all I heard was crowd noise. That's all I heard. I didn't hear the coach talking, so I would have to kind of literally guess. I'd see the personnel groups running in and just guess what play we ran. So you 13-25. Okay, that's not terrible, but 24-21, yeah. We found a way to win the game. Thank God I had Andre Johnson. Honestly, that was the only chance.
Yeah, you got a Hall of Famer, good things can happen. I remember being on the sideline at one point, and it was so loud, my suit, like the jacket was vibrating.
It's wild, man.
They are rowdy.
Wild.
NFL Network Fan Cam, it is sponsored by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka and official vodka partner of the NFL. You can scan the QR code now or head to WeDoGameDays.com to see how you can enter sweepstakes for custom prizes. Smirnoff, we do game days. All right, I'm thinking about some bold predictions here. We do this in the preseason.
Yes.
Give me one that's so bold.
So, not since the 2013 Broncos with Peyton Manning did we see 3 receivers on the same team get 10 or more touchdowns. I'm going to say that the Houston Texans with Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs do that. Right? I think that's how talented this group is. From the quarterback position, obviously, that we talked about, CJ, possible MVP. But all 3 of these guys, they have such a unique skill set. Their ability to catch the football, run after catch, make plays, and then the offensive system is going to put them in a position where they don't have to do it every time physically. There's going to be creative offense off the boots, off the actions with Joe Mixon in the backfield. That's going to draw some attention. So not since 2013 with Peyton Manning. They're going to be pretty good company.
All right, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I'm going to face this way because I can feel the heat that might be coming. Yeah. Matthew Judon, now a member of the Atlanta Falcons.
Can I leave for this?
All right, so 2 years ago, 15.5 sacks. 3 years ago, 12.5 sacks. In 4 of the last 5 campaigns, we have seen teams go sub-20 in terms of sack totals. I think that happens for the Patriots, so my bold prediction, Matthew Judon by himself has more sacks than the entire Patriots team has.
I mean, those red sleeves are terrifying. Let's just be honest.
Dude, when he's healthy, are you kidding me? Now, I get it. He's coming off of an injury,
he's still
but
a great
he is an absolute man-child. And all of a sudden, that Atlanta Falcons squad looks maybe
They look really good. They look really good.
They do.
I can say it.
You can say that. You just
they look really
he
good.
Can handle business.
Hopefully he has all those sacks in 15 games.
Not against the Saints.
Right.
Exactly. All right, still to come. It would not be bold to say that Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson would win an MVP. Those guys are always in the mix. David and I, though, making our picks for Thursday, and we got a Super Bowl prediction. That's still
tonight on The Insiders, we'll have all the up-to-the-minute news from around the NFL, plus live team reports and expert analysis as only NFL Network can deliver. Catch it all tonight, 7 Eastern, on The Insiders.
Upgrade your Sundays with NFL Plus Premium and watch live, local, and primetime games on mobile devices, plus NFL Red Zone game replays and more. You can sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus Premium. Terms and conditions apply. It's time for Flag on the Field, presented by Visa. Every step forward takes you closer to where you want to be. Visa, everywhere you want to be. Now, earlier this summer in Canton, Ohio, we saw some of the country's best flag football players compete at the highest level at the NFL Flag Championships. From 9U to 18U, the competition was unmatched. Valentina Finetti led the Staten Island Giants to victory in the 1800 division, and Daniel Berry and Metro Select took home the 1500 boys title. To find a league near you, visit NFLflag.com. And I get it, you know, we're fresh off of the Olympics, already thinking about 2028, right here in Los Angeles. We got flag football. Who's the player in the NFL that you want to see represent Team USA?
I know there's been a lot of conversation about who the quarterback should be, but there's only one choice here, and it's Pat Mahomes. I mean, what are we even talking about? All we have to do is just go on YouTube and maybe do a split screen of the possible candidates of the flag football game, and then Pat Mahomes doing literally anything. I mean, honestly, he could throw it behind his back every time and probably win a gold medal. So I'm going Pat Mahomes.
That actually might happen. I'll throw Caleb Williams' name in.
I love that too.
Caleb actually said on Hard Knocks he would love to play flag.
That'd be fun.
We do have a ways to go until 2028, so let's just worry about Thursday night and that opener.
You win, you're in the Super Bowl.
This is our Super Bowl right there.
Let's go! Fires it near side to Kelce, comes back to the ball and holds it in. Go all day, boys. And yes, scored you.
Going deep, he's got a man open. Touchdown, Ravens!
Right back on the ass, Mossad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pacheco, push it, touchdown! Kansas City.
Be straight, go. We got to score one.
Chiefs recover the ball in the end zone.
Back in the end zone, it's intercepted.
You can doubt the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs.
Hey, hell of a year, man. Hell of a year, man. Hell of a player.
We're going on record. Time for our game picks. And yeah, we spent some time talking about Thursday's matchup, the Ravens and the Chiefs. Who are you taking?
Man, this is so good. Such a good game. I'm going to go Kansas City just because of the additions that we talked about on the outside, creating more space for Travis Kelce. I think that's going to be the difference. Obviously, I love Derrick Henry and what they're going to do in Baltimore. I just think the Chiefs, a little bit too much at Arrowhead.
I got to hang in Baltimore for training camp. I asked Lamar Jackson, how often do you think about that AFC Championship game? He said every single day.
I understand.
I'm taking the Ravens 27-24. Let's go to Brazil. Packers-Eagles.
Okay, so the Packers, I think, really good football team, obviously. And I think the Eagles, as I've kind of hinted at throughout this show, got some question marks at the play caller position. Not that Kellen Moore can't do it. I just see a trend. I'm going to say Packers 28, Eagles 14.
Wow. Look, I just think this Eagles roster is absolutely loaded. It was a blip on the radar, what we saw a season ago. The addition to Saquon, I'll throw Dotson's name into the mix, 24-23. I think this is going to be a nail biter.
That'll be good. I like that.
All right, Cowboys and Browns. We get to see Tom Brady make his broadcast debut in the booth for this one.
Great.
You and I talked off air. This one was kind of hard for us.
It was hard because there's questions, right? There's questions for me in Dallas on the play caller side, on the skill position, who's going to make plays outside at CD. Is the run game going to be effective at all? I don't know, but Dak's good, right? But then I also know Deshaun Watson hasn't really done what we expected him to do in Cleveland, but I also love that coaching staff and I love their roster. I'm going to say Browns by 4, 21-17.
Yeah, you and I both agree. I think this is a nail-biter game, 21-20. I'm going to roll with the Browns. I think what it comes down to, just that roster. I think you're 100%
A lot of questions will be answered at this game, I think.
Yeah, I feel more confident in Cleveland's roster.
Yes.
Rams, Lions. I think this is going to be a juicy game. What do you like?
I do think this is going to be a juicy game, but I think the Lions are going to keep improving. I know that the Rams are a good football team, well coached, obviously all those components, and they're going to be competitive, but I think the Lions are on a mission. They were on a mission last year. They didn't get to finish it. I think they do here, and they send a message 28-14.
I'm going to roll with Detroit as well, 28-27. That said, I think the Rams have just as good a chance as anyone in the NFC of getting to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? Cooper Kupp now healthy, got to spend some time with them also in training camp. I just think the Lions are a great story, and it's been fun to see this team develop.
I just love that the Lions don't have to prepare for Aaron Donald, as of yet.
True.
As of yet.
Maybe a tease for what could potentially be coming. We talked to George Kittle about this one. Jets, Niners, who are you rolling with?
I mean, this could be a great game. I'm going to say 32-31 by 1 point. The Niners edge this one out just because it's in San Francisco, but the Jets are going to come ready to play, pull all the stops. Robert Saleh, old defensive coordinator, going against Kyle Shanahan. They all know each other very well, but the Niners just barely.
Yeah, I like the Niners in this game 24-20. I'm still concerned about Aaron Rodgers coming off the
healthy fear.
Like, this might still be a really good Jets team, but in the opener, still figuring things out.
Against that front, being able to move.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with San Francisco in this one. All right, I'm already thinking about what's going to happen at the end of the year. Super Bowl prediction time.
My goodness.
I kind of secretly think this is always tough for me because there's so many teams that I think could be good, but who's your matchup?
I'm going to say that, so we talked about the Houston Texans a little bit. C.J. Stroud, MVP, might have been a little glimpse into the under the curtain, but I'm going to say the Houston Texans have enough. They are a formidable opponent, and they're going to do some damage in the AFC. 31-27, Houston Texans over the 49ers again.
You think, oh my God, heartbreak for this San Francisco.
So sad. I know, I'm sorry, George. Turn the TV off at this point.
Can you imagine they get to a Super Bowl again?
I know.
And then they lose?
Teams have done it. I'm just saying, they're a good enough team to get there, but the Texans are good.
Best team in the NFL last year in my mind, and I get it. Look, Kansas City, they hoisted the trophy, but I thought in the regular season, the most dominant team in the league was the Baltimore Ravens.
You're right.
I think they get over the hump. I think the Ravens get to the Super Bowl. Bully ball.
They were tough. They physically just beat people up.
I think they match up against the Lions. I think this is their year.
That'd be a great Super Bowl.
Like, we did bold predictions. Like, I think Jared Goff may be even like secret DL MVP if they start rolling.
I love that. If they're going to be in that Super Bowl, he definitely will be.
That could actually be the case. We're talking Super Bowls already?
We're ready for it.
Let's just get to Thursday at this point.
Everyone's got hopes to be in the Super Bowl at this point.
We're excited for this opener. It's going to wrap it up for us. For David Carr, I'm Mike Yam. Thank you so much for watching the 2024 NFL Kickoff Preview presented by Lowe's. Happy football, everyone. Yes, and we got you covered on NFL Network all season long. Let the games begin.